This is Local 6 at 5.
Staking out a new defense against flooding. Governments and homeowners having to rethink how high is high enough.
Just don't know what's going to happen next, so I'm just hoping for the best.
But first, we have a breaking news alert at 5. Firefighters are on the scene right now at a local high school.
Local 6's Jason Hibbs joins us now live from Reedland High in McCracken County. Jason, I understand there was a problem in the library area. What can you tell us?
Scott, this was a summer daycare program for elementary age students aged 5 to 12 years old. I'm told those kids were in the library behind me when their teachers smelled something that they knew wasn't right. It turns out that was a smoldering breaker coming from an electric box. Now, when teachers smelled that, they called the fire department and parents and immediately took all of the kids outside of the library. This was the scene when we got here about 30 minutes ago. Firefighters on the scene, students watching in amazement as firefighters rushed into the library. I'm told that there were about 50 firefighters who responded to this, and everyone is okay. There were actually no flames ever coming from that breaker box. It was just a smoldering breaker that could have been potentially dangerous, but no flames and just a little bit of smoke. A lot of parents also came to pick their students up, but now all of the firefighters have left and everyone is okay. Live in McCracken County, Jason Hibbs, WPSD Local 6.
All right, thanks very much, Jason. And of course, we'll have more on this developing story as we get it.
And to receive breaking news mobile alerts on your cell phone or sent to your email, go to our web channel, WPSDLocal6.com. When you get there, click on WPSD Local 6 Mobile Alerts in the blue banner. And preparing for the worst, homeowners who were hit hard during flood 2011 are having to make some serious adjustments.
People with homes at the existing 100-year floodplain thought they were safe, but Mother Nature showed once again who's really in charge. Here, Local 6's Julie Collins spent the day at a home on Meredith Road. And Julie, tell us about these new rules.
Well, Scott, they have to do with these stakes you see here. This represents the existing 100-year floodplain. New or renovated homes have to be 1 foot above these stakes, but for a lot of people in that area, 1 foot just isn't high enough. Reassess what a 100-year flood looks like. So surveyors are going to revise that floodplain. And Scott, that's supposed to happen in November, and that's important because any work done after that will have to abide by the new higher floodplain.
Yeah, it looks like we guessed a little bit low the first time. Thanks very much, Julie. Well, FEMA will not pay to raise a home. However, those people affected by the floods in McCracken County are eligible for individual assistance.
Acquitted of murder, Casey Anthony may be spending her last night in prison tonight. The verdict in Anthony's murder trial sent shockwaves across the nation, and now many people have their sights set on tomorrow. That's when we learn her sentence on 4 guilty verdicts of lying to investigators. Today, the jurors in the Anthony trial kept their silence, but the people who watched every second of the trial are speaking out loud and clear. Those who attended the trial or spent time near the television following it closely are outraged, pleading for justice for Kaylee, something the prosecution says may never be possible.
No, we never will. We never will. Because even if Casey got out of jail and wrote a book and said it, I don't know that any of us would really know if we could believe it or not.
Well, today, Casey Anthony's former fiance spoke out saying he is outraged and angry over the verdict. For now, jail officials say they have a security plan in place in case Casey Anthony is released tomorrow. The former baseball pitcher Roger Clemens in court today as jury selection began in his perjury trial. He's accused of lying under oath when he told a House committee he never used steroids. The judge hopes to find 12 jurors and 4 alternates by early next week for a trial expected to last into August. U.S. District Judge Reggie Walton criticized Congress for withholding an audio recording of Clemens' disposition to committee staff that lawyers want for the trial.
The trial for a Southern Illinois man accused of murder is underway. Marcus Marshall of Creel Springs is on trial for the murder of LaQuinn Hudson in August of last year. These are pictures from Hudson's home in Marion, Illinois, where he was shot and killed. Police arrested Marshall in Chicago 3 days after the shooting. Jury selection is underway in Marshall's murder trial right now. The judge said testimony is expected to begin tomorrow at 9 a.m. Well, in one local city, those heading out to eat on Sunday could soon have some more choices when it comes to wetting their whistle. Patrons at places like El Tequila in Metropolis might be given the opportunity to enjoy a margarita, or at Willie Jack's, maybe it's ordering a beer with that burger. Currently, there are no alcohol sales on Sundays, but the Metropolis Ordinance Committee will discuss making a change and possibly taking action tomorrow afternoon. If it does pass, the Sunday liquor sales would apply only to restaurants.
And you know, Scott, today was a really good day to sit outside with a cold drink or to splash around in some water. This is a look from Paducah Spray Park where kids were playing through the water slide and water spouts.
Oh, that looks like fun. Well, these temperatures are here for a while, but are there any rain clouds on the way? Meteorologist Kyle Mounts in with the details. Kyle.
Yeah, Scott, we do have a take a look at your 7-day forecast in a few minutes.
Thanks, Kyle. Well, local teens looking for something to do this summer may soon have a new way to make some cash. An Illinois Jobs program will employ more than 2,500 teens in the state and local parks and nature centers. The Illinois Department of Natural Resources is managing the program. Local governments and nonprofits will receive grants to hire 16 to 19-year-olds to clear brush, build trails, and clean up litter in state parks. It is an annual tradition bringing together state and national leaders with their local constituents, and the plans for this year's Fancy Farm Picnic already underway. While the site still looks kind of bare, work behind the scenes is ongoing. Governor Steve Beshear and his Republican opponent, David Williams, will both speak, as well as the Democratic and Republican candidates for Lieutenant Governor, Jerry Abramson and Richie Farmer. Picnic director Mark Wilson wants you to remember it's not all about the politics. There's plenty of food and fun for everyone in your family.
We have the bingo, which gives away lots of good prizes. There's lots of games for the kids. It's strictly catering to the family. It's a family type event.
It's a lot of fun. You can view the entire invite list and the status of those expected to show at our web channel, WPSDLocal6.com. When you get there, click on I Saw It on 6.
Yeah, the governor's race is coming up fast.
Yeah, should be an interesting communication between them. Well, popular cell phone carrier Verizon making some changes, and their customers aren't happy about it. Details later.
Yeah, and how officials caged this 350-pound grizzly bear on the loose in tonight's Scanning the Satellites.
Plus, why one popular pain reliever may be able to lower the risk of a dangerous health problem. That story more in tonight's Family Health Cast.
And hazy, hot, and humid conditions making it feel an awful lot like July. And now we're going to throw in some additional thunderstorms. Your 7-day planning forecast after the break.
Your breaking news and weather authority with Scott McGee, Jennifer Horbelt, and weather authority Kyle Mounts. You're watching Local 6 at 5.
Offer ends July 31st.
And breaking a sweat, not hard to do as you step out the door. This is a live view right now from our Remy Heating and Cooling Sky Tracker Network. Down here comes that heat and humidity of July. 95 degrees both days, lows in the mid-70s, so even during the overnight, it's not going to feel very nice. 93 then on Wednesday with a chance for a few storms.
Okay, Kyle, thanks.
Okay.
Well, Verizon is making some changes to their policies, and customers are not happy about it. We're going to have those details coming up later.
And if you've never seen a 350-pound bear, stay tuned. How it was captured in tonight's Scanning the Satellites.
Plus, one common pain reliever may help with much more than common aches and pains. The surprising medical research in today's Family Health Cast. You're watching Local 6 at 5.
The WPSD Local 6 Family Healthcast is brought to you by the Pain Management Center in Paducah and Marion.
And Scanning the Satellites tonight, it's not every day you see this. This is a 350-pound bear. That officers shot that bear with a tranquilizer gun just before it ran to an off-ramp, and then, as you can see, he was taking a nice little nap there. He was captured and will be released into the wild after he wakes up. No word on where that bear came from. I'm going to go with the forest. It wasn't a tornado that downed trees and power lines in Washington. It was a landslide. At one point, nearly 1,500 households in the area were without power. Thankfully here, no one was hurt. Time now for your Family Health Cast. Now, it's become the standard of care. You have a heart attack and a doctor puts a stent in there. Now there's some evidence proving that stents are widely overused as a solution to patients with heart trouble.
Well, the tiny mesh tubes used to prop open blocked arteries can be life-saving in emergencies such as heart attacks. Now, researchers say most of those procedures, about 70% of them, in fact, were deemed medically necessary. The rest were done on patients who had mild symptoms and who were not in a medical emergency. About 12% of those cases were considered inappropriate.
It is a common pain reliever that may do more than you realize. Researchers say Celebrex may prevent lung cancer from developing in former smokers. Researchers gathered a group of volunteers who used to smoke Half of the group took Celebrex twice a day, the other took a placebo, and they found the group taking Celebrex had fewer markers of cancerous cell growth in their lungs. Experts say larger studies are needed, but this could be a way to prevent the progression of lung cancer at the earliest stages.
Cutting back on the salt to lower your risk for heart disease. Now, researchers say that cutback isn't all that beneficial. Cutting back on salt may not greatly reduce your risk for heart disease, but it does have a benefit in lowering your blood pressure. Experts say government agencies are stepping in to require lower targets for salt intake, and manufacturers are working to cut salt from their foods to promote healthier eating habits.
All right, Verizon making some changes to its service, and that's making some waves with our customers. We have those details next.
Plus, a new smartphone is set to hit shelves later this year. All about the iPhone 5 right after the break. Stay with us.
This portion of the news is brought to you in part by Ford.
All right, we've been talking about it all night. A consumer alert to pass along this evening, this time from Verizon. The popular cell phone carrier will no longer offer unlimited data plans.
Starting tomorrow, Verizon will no longer offer data plans with no cap. Instead, they'll offer plans that top out at 10 gigabytes of data a month. That leaves Sprint as the last big carrier to offer unlimited data. We asked our Facebook fans if Verizon's changes have forced them to change cell phone carriers. Katie Dawn Wing wrote this: I am very disappointed in Verizon. I changed from a prepaid service to Verizon because they offered good coverage and unlimited. Not sure I will switch till my contract ends, but disappointed in them.
No, they got you once you signed that contract. Yeah. Well, Angie Nugent-Curry says, I switched from Verizon to AT&T a few years ago, but then I also left AT&T for Straight Talk from Walmart. It runs on the Verizon network, and with taxes, I pay $48 a month for unlimited talk, text, and data. Sounds like a pretty good deal. And you can weigh in. Just visit our web channel, WPSDLocal6.com, and click on Join the Conversation. There you'll find the option to join our Facebook fan page. That's where you can comment on our post. And speaking of cell phones, fans of the iPhone 4, you are so last week because the 5 is coming. Production on the iPhone 5 will begin in August. Apple executives say the production will be aggressive and the handset may be out by September. Some suppliers say the upgraded iPhone will be thinner and lighter than the iPhone 4 and will also have an 8-megapixel camera. That's a great camera.
Well, coffee suppliers are trying to get Americans to ice down that cup of joe at home. Now coffee sellers are turning to home products to brew up sales. Coffee maker Keurig is now featuring 2 new iced coffee flavors that have more product than hot drink portions. Starbucks plans to roll out an iced coffee flavor as well next week.
Well, they work every day to help people in emergencies, and now there's reason to celebrate 2 local 911 operators.
Coming up, what they did to deserve a very important honor. You're watching Local 6 at 5. Stay with us.
The Weather Authority, now with you wherever you go. It was just several weeks ago that these seats were filled as folks waited in line to get help from FEMA. Well, now that process has slowed down. That's why tonight they're getting out of this center and going door to door. We'll have details coming up on Local 6 at 6.
And reading, writing, and arithmetic, but actually subtract the writing. Why one local state says they're cutting writing tests. And we have some written responses to that decision from you.
Breaking news and weather just 30 minutes away on Local 6 at 6.
Well, they help people every day, but 2 Southern Illinois men are being honored for their quick response to emergencies.
This is Lyndall Hatley and Robert Owsley, both receiving honors today. Lyndall is a 911 dispatcher in Herrin, Illinois, and he's being recognized for his fast response to a domestic situation called into his line. He said his everyday job holds a big responsibility to the public, but the recognition, he says, always means a lot.
It's nice to get honored for, something that it is your job to do. The public, expects that, but it's nice that they did recognize that, we did go a little bit above and beyond what our normal call of duty is.
Robert Owsley, also honored today, works with the Williamson County Sheriff's Department.
Good job for both of them. And to all 911 dispatchers and emergency workers out there, saving lives every day.